Chanjal teacher?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Anita?
Yes, ma'am. A very good evening to one and all gathered here. Kerala University College of Teachers Education, Nedumangada, is hosting a webinar on mental health of teachers. I extend my warm-hearted welcome to the resource person, to the teachers, to the principal, and all the participants of the webinar. Now, I invite Dr. Chanjal Abraham, Assistant Professor of the Department of Social Science, for the welcome address and introducing the resource person to us. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, Anita. Hello and welcome to today's session presented by Kerala University College of Teacher Education, Nedumangad, on the topic mental health of teachers. Respected Principal Dr. Sunit Kumar Jain, sir. Respected resource person Dr. Suresh Kumar Murugesan, sir. Respected and dear participants. First of all, I would like to welcome our Principal Dr. Sunit Kumar Jain, sir, who is the motivator behind all webinars. Thank you, sir, and welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome all respected and dear participants. Now, with great pleasure, I would like to welcome our resource person, Dr. Suresh Kumar Murugesan, sir. As an eminent educationist, he has had a distinguished career in the field of education. Sir is the passionate professor, researcher, and positive mental health practitioner from Madurai, Tamilnadu. At present, he is heading the PG Department of Psychology, the American College, Madurai, Tamil Nadu, and adjunct professor, School of Behavioral Sciences, Texila, American University. He is very keen in research studies and open to learn. His ultimate aim is to make impression in the field of knowledge. His area of specializations are psychometry, positive psychotherapy, etc. He has published 30 journal articles, 50 conference and seminar proceedings, organized more than 750 webinars, and acted as a resource person for 300 webinar sessions. And he received 8 awards and delivered more than 25 radio talks. There is also a close friend of our principal. The webinar will surely gives us an opportunity to hear from you about mental health of teachers. Thank you very much for having with us. Welcome, sir, to the webinar organized by Kerala University College of Teacher Education, Tamilnadu. Thank you, sir.
Very good evening, one and all present here. I'm really happy to be here to share my learnings and research experiences on mental health of teachers. Before getting into that presentation, I would like to make my personal gratitude to my friend, the principal of Kerala University College of Teacher Education, Dr. Sunit Kumar, for inviting me for the wonderful webinar session, and also the coordinator, Chancellor Abraham and Anita Shavastin, and all the faculty members and students. I'm really happy to be here to share one of the topics which is very close to my heart as a teacher of a decade. And I had a lot of personal experiences also in this topic, what I'm going to present with you. I take a minute to share my screen. Yes. Is it my screen is visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. I would like to ask a question. As a teacher, we are more inclined to asking more questions in the classroom. So I would like to start from a question. Can anyone please let me know if there is any teacher, if you come to know that they are not having any problem? If you know, please unmute yourself, or you can raise your hand, or you can chat in the box. You can take 30 seconds. Yes. So your silence indicates that I think no teacher in that world are free from any kind of problem in their life. It may be an physical health, or it may be on mental health, or it may be on emotional, or whatever it may be. We can name it. And we also, human beings, we also face these kind of problems. When it comes to mental health component, I can say that why it is important for the teachers, mental health, we need to talk. I think we can able to see the physical symptoms of a person by looking at the face. But when it comes to mental health component, it is very difficult to find out what is the problem of the person. And second one is when we ask the question among the teachers, please underline, when you ask the question among the teachers, can you able to find out that different mental health problems? When we ask these questions, and many of them, they cannot able to give the answer because the awareness among the teacher itself is zero. Except the people who are willing to learn the concept, they can able to understand. And I'll let you know some of the components for you. First, we will uncover that the terms it is there in my topic. One is about the mental health of the teacher. What do you mean by health? I think we are having a different understanding about the term. I can say that many of us, we are having a wrong notion about the term health. What is that? We believe that a person is not having any illness or disease. We claim that the person is healthy. But actually, it is a wrong definition for that. What is health? And according to World Health Organization, they come up with a clear understanding about the term. You must be good in your physical, mental, and social well-being. You feel that physically you are feel good, and mentally as well as social, you have better relationship with other members. And there are many people, they are good at their cognitive component, physical component, but they fail to interact with other members. So when you want to claim that you are a healthy person, you must be holistically good in these three components, and we'll move on to the next one. And when you want to know that what is mental health, and there are a lot of definitions are there. Again, we have to rely on the standard definition given by World Health Organization. What they said, they given very clear-cut understanding about the term. Who can claim that you are a mentally healthy person? I'm going to give on 4 important criteria. You can check that. And if you have more than 3 criteria, if you have at least 3 criteria, and your mental health is good. And if it is a 2 criteria you meet, that means you need to, I think you may be fall in the mental illness component. And if you have only 1 criteria, definitely you have to meet a professional counselor. Okay, what are the 4 important criteria? You can claim that you are a mentally healthy person. One is you can be able to realize your own potentials. I like to share my personal experience. I think I was attended an interview a decade back. In a column, they asked me, can you write about your strength and weakness? I thought that I must be open. So I wrote my strength component, I wrote only 3 points. In the weakness component, I wrote more than 10 points. And I feel that if the genuine inputs I given to them, they may select me. At the end of the interview, the chairman of the particular institution, it is a renowned institution in India, and he came and told me that, Suresh, why we are not selected, the only reason you focusing on the negative components of yours. I'm not realized that I have more potential. I'm focusing on that negative components. So that's the first component. You have to realize what is your strength and what is your weakness. Not about the negative side. You have to know about your positive sides. And second one is, every day, as he said, none of the teachers who can claim that we never experience any kind of stress. Academic stress will be there, financial stress will be there. And there are many teachers that are having the coping mechanism. Yes, I can able to manage my stress. And if we can claim that, then your mental health is good. And third criteria, I think every one of us, we can say that we are working for our day, but we feel that we may sense that I think we are not up to the mark. We are unproductive. When you feel such a thing, and our mental health is the main cause for that feeling. And if your mental health is good, you feel that content that, yes, I have done something good for the society. And finally, you have to make a contribution for the community and the society we belong to. And when you meet these 4 important criteria, I can say that if you meet these important 4 criteria, that means your mental health is good. And you can check yourself. And if you are not able to meet at least 50% of these criteria, you need to be focused, or you have to give importance to your mental health component. And further, when you want to dissect, what are the components are there in mental health? In cognition, when you look at that, these are the components you are good at. or if you feel that you are normal, your mental health is good. The three important criteria, you can say that they will say that triple H, head, heart, and hand, or else they can say that cognition, emotion, and behavior. So what are the components that comes under cognition? Do you have a better attention? I think the recent study is saying that due to that influence of these gadgets in our hand, our attention span is coming down. I think we are having that one of the important experiment for the B.Ed student, the teacher training, that is called Tachita-scope, span of attention. There is a recent study which says that our attention spans are very, very less than the fish. I think we need to be looking into that important component. We can look at that. And second one is, can you able to concentrate? And third one is, can you able to solve the problem in your personal life? And fourth one is, can you able to make the right decisions? And we are able to make a decision, whether it is a right decision. And reasoning, can you able to find out which one is good, which one is not good? And if you have the clarity in your thinking, most of the time have positive thinking. And if you can find that your language is up to the mark, if you feel that you can able to communicate what you think, and finally you have the better memory. And if you think that if it is there in the positive side, I think our mental health is good. And if there is any problem in this component, please, we need to focus on this cognitive component alone. And when it comes to emotions, and the alarming fact I would like to say here, teachers, I think, including I'm also a teacher. Earlier, we had a teachers when we go to the classroom. The teachers in our classroom, we may be around 40 plus. And teacher will look at that wherever we are sitting in the classroom, and they will call that, what happened to you, man? And they will call and then ask them. How they come to know that they understand the emotions by reading the facial expressions. But nowadays, the studies were found that we people are not having that ability to understanding that the emotions of the people. It is a very, very alarming fact we have to understand. And whether we can able to manage our emotions. There are many problems are there. For example, if there is a problem in your family, when you come to the classroom, can you able to manage that emotions? And can you able to spread the positive emotions? I think when I ask a question to many of the forum wherever I go to teach, can you name at least 5 positive emotions? They will say the happiness and joy. Other than that, none of the emotions, many of them they cannot be able to recollect. See, when we know about these positive emotions, then only we can able to nurture. As per the formula of prediction and see, come up with them, there are 10 positive emotions. If at the same time, if I ask me, can you name the emotions? We can say that a lot of negative emotions, worry, stress, anxiety, we can name it. There are a number of negative emotions we are aware of, but when come to on the other hand, whether we are having that knowledge about positive emotions is a question mark. And we have to have an emotional awareness. So what kind of emotions we are experiencing at present? Whether we can able to regulate the emotions, not control it, whether we can able to regulate the emotions. And when you look at these emotional component, and if your emotional components are the positive side, your mental health is good. If it is on the negative side, that means if you are not able to understand that the emotions of yours and others, if you are not able to manage your emotions, and if you are not able to cultivate more positive emotions, so one of the best emotion, positive emotion, I can say that gratitude. I think it is mandatory for the teacher trainer. The one important quality you will inculcate that we have to practice gratitude. Whenever when we find something good thing in another person, we have to appreciate the person. Are we doing that? And it is mandatory practice. We have to do that. When you, I think there are many students that when we write in a blackboard, when we make mistakes in any one of the sentence, and almost nearly half of the classroom members will say, sir, there is a problem. I think we wrote without mistake more than 99%, but they will not say that, sir, you have written very good. We were trained in that way, find fault in others. And there is we have to have a class, focus on the positive side. It is very important for our mental health. Dear teachers, if you have not done so, and you will be, try to practice it. I can give one example. When you say someone is, yeah, you are looking good. There's nothing is there in the world. Nothing is there. You are looking good. You have done amazingly. These words has a huge impact. The person will feel more happy and he will remember that who has acknowledged this. So please do practice in coming days wherever you go, not only for the teachers, but also with your classmates. And finally, the behavioral components. I think we all having certain social norms. If you like it or not, there are certain behaviors are accepted by the society. What we can say that appropriate behaviors. There are certain behaviors are inappropriate behaviors. We have to look at that, whether we are expressing appropriate behaviors. And many, I can say that there are many teachers, it for them, they express inappropriate behavior in the classroom and they believe that what they have done is right. I can quote the best example for us. Many of you are going to write CTET, Central Teacher Eligibility Test, or National Eligibility Test. There is a component called teaching aptitude. In the teaching aptitude, when you find out that what are the practices done by our teachers are inappropriate, you can check them. It is very clearly mentioned that scolding students in front of others is not inappropriate behavior. So, but we are doing it. But when we don't know the answer, we have to promptly say that I don't know the answer. That is the right way. There are many teachers, they never say that I don't know the answer. So, behavior, another one is sleep problems. I'm going to give on another fact, the research studies which was done with most of the teachers, and many of the teachers are having sleep related problems. Why? It is because, for example, I still remember, if you are not having that experience, if you are just getting into the teaching field, for teaching 40 minutes, you need to prepare at least 2 to 3 hours. 2 to 3 hours. And look at that, most of the teachers who are working in schools, if it is an 8 periods, at least 7 periods will be there for a single teacher. 7 periods means how much time they have to spend for preparation. And look at the workload of the teachers. And it creates a lot of sleep problems, and they may have an eating problems also. Many teachers, they skip food. It is because of they give much importance to that work rather than that personal health. And sometimes aggressive behavior we can able to find. These are the components we can see. Yes, if you can able to express your behavior and promptly, appropriately, that means your mental health is good. If some of your classmates, some of your teachers are expressing inappropriate behavior, or they may show that this any kind of behavioral issues, it is because the hidden mental health problem the person may be experiencing. I hope you all understand that. In addition to that, there is one more dimension, as I said earlier, the social component. Social component. Whether we are having better communication with other members, can we do good thing for other members without harming anything? Are we respecting the freedom of others? So these are the other components also now included in mental health component. We have to focus on those components also. And finally, you all know that you are all teachers. Anyhow, the students who are pursuing your B.Ed course, next year will become a teacher. The person who teaches in any of the education institutions, not only about higher education, even in primary level, middle level, nursery level, if you teach something, then you are a teacher. So now you got on a clarity about the basic terms in my presentation. Now I'm going to give on some research finding related to the teachers' mental health, how the mental health impacted teachers in various components. And look at here, almost 1 in 5 teachers, they are experiencing panic attack, anxiety related problems are there for teachers. Anxiety related problems are there in a teacher. They cannot be able to communicate what they are thinking because the anxiety, they may not perform properly. The studies are saying, not said by me, the studies saying that when you take 5 teachers, 1 teacher is having anxiety, the panic attacks. And I told earlier, more than 50% of teachers, 56% of teachers, they are suffering from insomnia and they are having the difficulty in sleeping. See, we are having the biological clock. We have to go to the particular time to sleep. When you make any change in these components, and we will suffer a lot. And over a third, nearly 41%, they said that they are having the problem in concentration because most of the teachers are married. I can say that when you take a statistics, most of the teachers are married and they have to strike a balance between work and family. So when you, as I said, when you want to teach for 40 minutes, you need to prepare at least 2.5 hours. and how they can able to manage. And it creates a lot of difficulty in the person on concentration for academic as well as in family components. And it is another alarming fact. There are many teachers that are having personal relationship issues. And they admitted that, yes, we had a problem with my relationship because I couldn't spend quality time as per Chapman, and he suggested 5 love languages. And the teachers are not practicing these love languages with their family members. And it creates at one point of time, and there are a lot of personal problems are there in the relationship. And nearly 28% they said that they forced to work. They want to force to do that. See, we have to accept that when I voluntarily do something, I do better. I'll show my creativity. If someone asks me and forced to do that, we cannot able. And some people, they want to put that. And these were the research findings. I'm going to give on some of the signs and symptoms. If you're a teacher not having proper mental health, what are the signs and symptoms we can able to see in a person? And we can also check with that. Including me, I also had this kind of problem in my thing. That's why, as I said, I'm going to share my experiences. We may, sometimes we constantly think or talk about the problem alone. We never think about the solution. Do you know that student is making nonsense and this teacher is making this nonsense? We talk only the problem. We never think about the possible solution. It is one of the sign and symptom of the person having mental health problem. When we take this particular sign and symptom alone, almost 99.9% of teachers fall under that, including me. I think all agree with me. And the next one is they may behave in a way, it is not their own character. It's not their trait. They are deviate from the trait. But they may be differently they will behave. For example, outgoing person, sometimes they may not participate in any kind of activities, and quiet person become weird and loud. When we see that the personal qualities or characters are changed, that means it is because of there is a hidden mental health problem. And unexpected outburst of emotions. Sometimes we may see that teachers will be very cordial with us, and one point of time they will burst out in the class. It is because they are not having that component. And as I said, if you have the problem in your sleep, or if you sleep too much, or if you are not sleeping properly, and the teachers may have that eating related problem. And sometimes the teacher depend on drugs and alcohols. There are in the findings I was not included. Then now the teachers are exposed or addicted to drugs and alcohols. As per the norms, the societal norms, a teacher must have clean habits. Okay, that is the thing we were taught, and they are the role model to us. But what the recent studies are saying, the teachers are more alcoholic in nature. There are many instances that reported in almost the leading newspapers, and they are taking alcohol, they are coming to the classes. And if you find that if your teacher is avoiding friends or any kind of social events, normally they need to be taken part of it. If they are not taking part, it is because they are having the mental health problem. And sometimes they may talk about that, no, I don't want to lead my life. I want to kill myself. And this kind of work we can able to see. It's because of the depression level is very high. And we can able to find that no one is there in my family, no one is there in my college, no one is there in my management. They can take care of about me. This kind of words are coming from the teacher. That means they are having a mental health problem. Okay. And as a given that the main symptoms, we need to look at the teachers. And if we have these symptoms, if it is more than 60%, I think we need to support the person to come out from the mental health problem. Okay. Now we look at that other than these things, and what are the common problems we can able to see among the teachers. There are a lot more problems are there. Many of the teachers, they will take is a stepping stone for that personal growth. But we cannot say that all the teachers can make it properly. And here some of them are over workload. As we said in the beginning itself, if the teacher is working in private institution, if it is an 8 period, you can see minimum 6 period for the teacher, minimum. How it is possible? practically, I think we have to think about it. When you take, I still remember my sister has done a B.Ed course. She take me as a role model. After me, she joined a B.Ed course and she became a teacher. The first day of teaching, when she come back, she couldn't speak. There is no sound is coming from her vocal cord. And she said that in a classroom of 60 students, she need to reach the last student and she need to louder. And 3 days and she couldn't speak in the classroom. And overload is very common problem for the teachers, and stress. Stress by themselves, stress from the co-workers, stress from the classroom, stress from the students, stress from the management, stress from the family members. There are a lot of components are there, financial components are there. I can say that those are working in government sector, I think the financial stress is less. But just think about it, the teachers who are working in private sector, I think you all know that their salary range is high disparity we can see. And classroom problems is another important thing. Non-cooperative students, it's very common. And we can see ego problems. All things may create a lot of problems. And management will, if we are working in government or non-government, whatever it may be, the management issues will be there throughout the year. And for private sector, it is a job insecurity will be there. And anxiety and fear are other problems. And hopelessness and helplessness, one point of time the teachers will get into that because of the depression. And I can say that the final problem, lack of skills and interest. We may ask how it will be a problem for the teacher. Yes. Now we were forced, is underlined, we were forced to transform our skill into online mode. Who can able to become most effective teacher at present? It's not a teacher who can able to persuade a student in the classroom. Now you must be blended in skills, both online and offline. You must be versatile and you have both the skills. And we can say that I can quote one of my personal experience. A teacher I know is having 25 years of experience. When the lockdown was announced, almost all the education institutions they shifted to online mode of teaching. And I know her personally, amazing teacher in the classroom. I think we enjoy her class. But when it comes to online mode, and she was talking the class by muting her audio for more than 50 minutes. The one problem. There are technical skills are not there. There are many things she experienced. At one point of time, she felt that she couldn't do that and she felt shame about it. This is another problem we can say. And I can say that very openly say that in coming days, coming years, not too far, very shortly, if you are good at online skills, teaching methods, and you will be sustaining your field, else you will be thrown away. You can underline. Most these pattern will be that the student can, those who are interested can come to the classroom, others they can attend from the home. And the blended method will be encouraged in coming days. For India, it may take little more time, but this is a pattern I can predict in the research findings. And we know that these are the problems in general. Personal problem, we cannot able to make any kind of problem. When you count that in the personal problem itself, many of them are related to mental health problem. Okay, we know that yes, there is a problem is there among the teachers related to the mental health. What are the barriers are there for seeking the help for my mental health problem? One is about lack of awareness about mental health. There are many teachers, they will not accept that I'm having mental health problem, including me. I'm not exceptional one, including me. Some of them, we will not accept that I have done so many degrees. I'm not teaching in this field. How can you say that I'm having mental health problem? Awareness and acceptance is very, very less among the teachers. We can able to make others to accept it, but for teachers. And second one is for accessing these mental health facilities, lack of resources. When you look at that, the trained mental health professionals and the trained mental health professionals with clinical supervisions are very, very less in India. Very, very less when compared to any other country. And where we can able to access. Even government sector itself, they are not having adequate mental health problem. And the last COVID-19, there are a week before I read an article in which they are saying that the COVID vaccine it may create an immunity to fight against the COVID virus. It also a cause for the mental health problem of many people. Sometimes you may feel that you are something you belong. It is because the vaccine you took it, and the many international organizations also, they forecasted that the mental health problem will become the biggest issue for almost all the country. And stigma is, for example, I can say that I'm going to meet a doctor. Have you ever seen that if anybody told that I'm going to meet a psychologist, I'm going to meet a psychiatrist? Stigma still it is there in our society. Even I can say that I'm having my counseling center. Recently I'm getting at least a client in a day, but you cannot find a board. In Google Map, you can able to search psychologist near me. The first name will be mine, but you cannot find the name. It is because the people will say that, sir, can you please don't reveal my identity. That is our right. That is our ethics. Okay. So stigma it is there, and finally the other barriers are we have to accept it. Some of the barriers I'm going to give here, and I'm going to let you know what are the strategy we can use for our mental health. How we can focus on the mental health. And you can see here in my hand, I'm having the pencil. So illness is on negative side. Wellness is on positive side. See, when we hear in that illness side, if it is an options, we will be in the neutral side. It doesn't mean that you are not having any problem in your life. And when we move on the positive side, and this is a wellness component, when you were in positive mental health, this is called positive mental health. This is an illness mental health. So when you come here, when you have any component, you may come here the normal, not the illness component. So that we need to have an awareness, and we have to focus on the positive side of any kind of individual. I'll let you know. Suppose if I'm taking care of my mental health, what are the benefits I will get it? We can able to see there is a connection is there between mind and body. If your mental health is good, your body will be good. We can see improved physical health. Second one is we will actively participate in academic activities. I think you all agree with me. If I'm healthy in physical as well as mental health component, I will be actively participate. I will be more productive. And I can see that better productivity in my performance. And we can able to see that increased stability in cognition and emotion. That emotions will be more appropriate, cognition will be more appropriate, behavior will be inappropriate. But on the other hand, we can able to see the increased, for suppose if you are not taking care of our mental health, what will happen? What will happen? So increase distracts in our learning, because without learning, we cannot become an effective teacher. Poor involvement in academic engagement, and there are health-related behaviors are very high among the teachers, those who are not meeting the mental health. And here are some of the strategy for us. I hope this strategy will be very simple. It's not a magic, I can say that. No one can have it in somewhere hidden. It is there in front of us. When we aware about this strategy, and when we practice it, and we can able to take care of our mental health. I'm going to let you know, one is psychoeducation. What is psychoeducation? When someone says that what is stress, you must know what is stress, what is the root cause of the stress, and how can you manage your stress. How can you manage your stress? If you know these three components, that's called psychoeducation. It's not only for stress, you can take any kind of mental health problem. If someone is saying that, sir, I'm not able to concentrate, and you must know that what is the problem for concentration? What is the root cause? How we can able to manage? That is called psychoeducation. Psychoeducation, and you need to get almost, we are the teachers, we can able to independently learn, and we can able to get these things. The first thing. And I'll let you know, here is a counseling note. When you look at here, you can see nearly 4 to 5 pages. And every page is a client need to explain their problem. And 10 pages. At least I will teach them what is the problem, what are the components, and they will get an insight. Oh, I'm making a mistake here. So that is called psychoeducation. And second one is we have to take care of, for example, when mobile is there and we are having that back cover, and we are in the front, we are having that temper glass. Are we taking care of our emotions? Are we taking care of our cognition? Are we taking care of our behavior? So we have to care about our behavior, how we can come to know that someone is, we can able to sense the behavior of others. When you look at the body language of others, we can understand that, okay, we are not appropriately behaving. If they are very close friend, you can ask them, so what need to be changed? And this is the behavior I used to say that very interestingly, I found that a professor, I can say that a senior professor, when she was taking the class in online mode, at the end of the session, she asked me to the learners, dear learners, can you please let me know how can I improve my teaching? Yeah, I got shocked because he's a senior professor in various countries. At the end, she is asking, it is because he wants to make an improvement in her teaching. The same way, when we want to take care of our emotion and behavior, cognitive component, we need to ask. There are many people they may point out. We can take it from there and then we can proceed. And third important thing is practice mindfulness. I think many of my known friends are agree with me that mindfulness is on nothing but old wine in a new bottle. It is a blend of many religious, not religious, spiritual component. And generally, most of the essence are from Buddhism. What is mindfulness? Being at the present. You cannot be able to change anything in your past or in the future. Nothing is in your control. What is there in your control? Your present. Be at the present. And in addition to that, you must have a three attitude. You must open. For example, if you know the answer, someone giving that answer, you listen to them. You listen. That is an openness. Listen to them. And finally, you can make a judgment. You can make a decision that whether you can accept that input or not. So there are many people when they try to say that I know everything. So this is a mindset is that many of the people, if you have, and you will not have the mindfulness. And second one is accept the reality. Accept the reality. And there are many of us, we are thinking about, I want to be there. Accept the reality. Yes, good and bad thing will come to your life. If you wish or not wish, it will come. And third one is non-reactive to any kind of stimulus. For example, some people non-reactive for both positive as well as negative. When a good thing comes, don't overreact. Be normal. The bad thing comes, don't overreact. Just be normal. That is the point they want to say in mindfulness. Practice mindfulness. There are many techniques out there, and there are a lot of YouTube videos out there. You can find some good quality trainers and get a training of it. And amazing for the teachers, you can able to practice for 2 minutes. There are many of the techniques it takes not more than 2 minutes. And relaxation techniques. And generally, there are many ways. Some people will say that, how will you relax? I will listen to music. I will travel a lot. I swim. Okay, I eat. So there are many relaxation techniques. You can tell anyone on any one of the relaxation technique. You can do the massage itself. See, when I feel low, I'll go and sit in front of my mom. She will do like this. When she do like this, I feel that my stress will go away. And I feel more comfortable. And that's called relaxation technique. Massage. You can take oil bath. These things you have done by your granny therapy. Okay, relaxation is you make your body relax and you can able to relax your mind also. Okay. And develop coping strategies. And we may ask that, what do you mean by coping strategy? If there are many people will say that if you have the pain, if you have the conflict with your relationship, come on man, drink the alcohol. And you will be there in somewhere else. Come on man, take the dope, marijuana, ganja. And they feel that it is a negative coping mechanism. Dear friend, teachers, please understand that. In the beginning, as I said, many teachers were addicted to alcohols and drugs nowadays. It is because they want to come out from the stress and they are taking negative coping mechanism. Please understand there are two coping mechanisms are there. One is positive coping mechanism and another one is negative coping mechanism. The negative coping mechanism, depending on these things, and positive coping mechanisms, there are many practices are there. For example, resilience, forgiveness. Someone is, you are having that jealous, someone you are not comfortable, the person is more irritating, forgive them. Okay. And I may saying it is very simple, but when you practice, it may be very difficult, but once you practice, and you will enjoy the fruits. And when you need a help, something you feel something irritated, something you feel uncomfortable, talk to someone else. You feel like just make a call to them and talk to them. 10 minutes, that's enough. And spend some quality time with your kids. If you have the kids, the children are the more, they never have on any kind of stigma or any kind of thing in their preoccupied mind. When you with children, you can see a lot of energy will be there. And children means happiness. Happiness is contagious. When you look at them and we feel, sometimes we feel that children are the one who are making headache to me. So that's different. And some rare cases, we may find such a children also. They have to accept it. But most of the time, when you with the kids and you feel more good in your feeling, and do some physical exercise. If I ask you, we are here nearly 69 members, 70 members are here. I will very frankly tell you, less than 10 members will do physical exercise regularly. Not doing occasionally here and there, you will not fall under the regular doing exercise. Only less than 10%. Only 6 or 10, 7 members can do exercise. And remaining, we will not focusing on the regular exercise. But there is a connection is there between body and mind set by Jacobson. Jacobson, he found that when you make a change in your body, you can able to make a change in your mind. So when you want to take care of your physical health, when you are strong, and you can say that you can able to strong in your mind also. And like physical exercise, stretching, there are joints are there. We are having different joints. You can just do on here and there some of the exercise. And if you are good at dance, yes, we can do the dance. If you are very bad at dance, don't worry. You can play some songs and then you can dance along with the heroes. Okay. I think you all know that recently there is a movie came, Legend. So you can follow the steps by Legend, or else you can follow the Rajinikanth or the old heroes movements, and you can able to practice stretching. And nowadays the yoga or even I have some but some of the components in yoga are having some impact on our mental health component. We can practice, for example, breathing, you can do that, and meditation. These very things are good for our mental health. And the 11th strategy is we have to have a growth mindset in teaching. Growth mindset is, see, we are learning for our personal growth, not for merely for teaching. And that is very important thing. The growth mindset, people look at that positive thing wherever they find and they will take it. And you can see some of my presentations are good. It is because my students were helping me how to prepare a presentation, and we can take it. And the same way you can find it something is good in the learners, from the students, we can take it from them. Reconnect a life purpose. There are many people, when you ask them, what is your purpose of your life? They will say, I don't know. What is the meaning of your life? I don't know. So when you have these kind of things, I think you are not focusing on that. Find the meaning in your life. Why you are here as a teacher? How you can do better for the students? And when we find the purpose, and we'll be most efficient, and you'll take care of your health and you'll take care of your students. And as I said earlier, focus on kindness and gratitude. See, you will not spend much money for practicing these two. Be kind to somebody else. Don't harsh. Because when we are harsh, the students will take us as a role model and they will be also harsh. But gratitude is something, is a mother of all the positive emotions. Suppose if we don't know all other positive emotions, we practice only the gratitude. When someone is helping you, say, thank you. Express your gratitude. And you found something good done by somebody else, appreciate them. If you have done something good, appreciate yourself. Yes, you have done good. Acknowledge anything good thing you found in the society. And the government is doing something, you can write a mail to them. At least in your social media feed, you can write, I appreciate the government for the particular activity, because we go and update the different components about the government negatives, and we are not appreciating it. That is not gratitude. That is very, very important. When we are more gratitude, the people will come forward. I used to give the example. Suppose you are helping someone else, and the person is thanking, and another person, you are helping two persons. One person expressing his gratitude, and another person is not doing so. The next time when these two persons are coming for seeking help, whom will be helped? The person who are expressing gratitude are married. So practicing gratitude, it will give another opportunity to get a benefit for that. It is like a stepping stone. And very, very important thing, we have to have boundaries. healthy boundaries are now is a very important topic for the teachers. Even when the Radhakrishnan was put a question in front of him, how the student-teacher relationship must be. It should be on water and the lotus leaf. Oh, now you must get the flames, you can get the light from the lamp, don't put your fingers inside the flames. So that is a relationship we have to maintain. We have to know that what is our boundary, and that it must be in the home as well as in the workplace. And even though we are a teachers, as he said, even though you may have a lot of degrees, you may have a lot of exposure, and we need a mentor. It may be on your junior, it may be on your senior. You need a mentor. At least you can find out. You need not to talk 24/7. Whenever you feel doubt, if you want to get something, you can ask them, you can claim them, you are a mentor, can you help me? That needed. And helping habits, there is a practice is there. Healthy, hygienic sleeping habits are there. And these should not be there in your bedroom. Your mobile phones must be there out of your reach to your bedroom. And second one is you must sleep at least 6 to 8 hours in a day. And there are many, when you want to sleep, don't have any kind of light. You know why? Why we should not have a light inside while we are sleeping? It is an exposure. There is an, when you close, I can able to sense that there is a light in front of you. So that we can able to sense. So our body will prepare ourselves for sleeping when it feels that, okay, this is the time you have to sleep. And we have to have an emotional resilience. Emotional resilience is, as I said, no one is free from any kind of problem, including you and me. Every one of us, we are having problem in our life. So we have to come out from that, and we have to focus on our goal, why we are here and what we have to do and what kind of impact we are going to make in a teacher. I can say that I met a lot of teachers in my life, but I cannot able to remember all the teachers. I can remember the teacher who made contribution for my personal growth. Same thing, you can focus on your goal, welfare of the student definitely will be right. And you will get a reward and appreciation from others. And if no one is there, you can appreciate yourself. Have more connections, very, very important, friend. And these are the 20 strategy, very useful for you. And with that, I can stop here. We will go for Q&A. I hope I given the justification for the time allotted for me. Thank you so much for that wonderful opportunity, my dear Dr. Sunit Kumar sir, for an amazing opportunity. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Thank you.
Any questions from your side or any comments, please go ahead.
Doris, Anita.
Yes.
So it was a wonderful session, covered almost all topics related with mental health of teachers, science of good mental health, barriers to health support, and a lot of strategies for better mental health of teachers. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for this wonderful session.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And student friends, if you have any interactions, I'm really happy. At least 1 or 2 questions from you.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, Mr. Sri Kumar.
I am Dr. Sri Kumar.
Yes, sir.
Your class was very good, but I would like to ask a question.
Yes, please.
Have you ever evaluated your mental health? And if you evaluated, what's your position? Let us know about your position in your classroom, family life, and how you are facing that, and your negative and positive aspects. If you are free, you can share with us.
Yeah, lovely, sir. I can say that there are occasions I found that there is a problem in my home, and it is because of my mental health component only. And yes, I too had many of the occasions. As I said, if you are a normal person, definitely we may have mental health problem. And the thing is, we have to focus on that which side. And very at the point, I can say that before 2015 and after 2015, but I'm entering in the teaching field 2018 itself. After 2015, I focus on that well-being component. The positive side of on ourselves. Earlier, I used to find out mistakes and other things, fault in other members. But now there is a change in my thing. But I cannot say that I completely transformed the wellness component. Yes, sometimes I may find that without knowing me, I can get a feedback from the members who are giving negative feedback for me alone. Yes, sometimes I do have a problem. And when someone is there, as I said, we need to have the time for taking care of our health. What I will do? Very simple things, sir. Imagine that if I am having negative thing in my pocket, there is no space for my positive thing to put in. So what I can do that, I can, instead of having negative components in my heart, I will put the positive side. So what are the good thing I have that? So I practice mindfulness journaling. So what we can say, they will say that positive affirmation. In the morning, we have to talk about what are the three good things about my in a particular day. So I focus in that way. I can able to see a lot of change in recent days and earlier. And when I compare myself with the earlier right now, I'm far better than that 3 years ago. And as I said, even I too have sometimes ego issue with my co-workers. It's natural. But when we sense that, okay, this is wrong, is a symptom of mental health problem, somewhere we are doing a mistake, because when we are not able to make a better relationship with co-workers, it's very difficult. Because they are the one who are going to be with us throughout the year. So what is the thing we have to suppose if the mistake from other members, we try to make them to understand their problems. It is from our side, and we have to introspect and we have to find how we can alter the behavior, how we can alter our cognitive components. So these are the things I can do. And sometime I can say that after COVID-19, I initiated a concept called mental health webinar series. I used to attend different sessions, and I took like a Annaparavai. So I can take good things from different places. There is a change in my behavior, there is a change in my emotion, there is a change in my cognition, and there is a change in my social behavior, social component. It is because I learn every day, sir. I'm open to learn. I hope I given the answer for your question, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you. One more thing I would like to share is most of the problems we face not in classroom, but in staff room.
Yes.
Yes, classroom. I have never faced any problem in classroom. I have made problems in staff room, and I have also faced the problems in the staff. So keeping a very good relationship with the staff, and our reactions are always making problems. Can you suggest any
Sir,
not? I don't mean solution. Any suggestions for that?
Yeah, I can tell you, sir. As he said, even I too had, for example, human beings, we are having different opinion and perception.
Yes.
And we have to accept the reality. The people will be like that. One thing. And second one is, when we are not comfortable with any kind of behavior or any kind of statement by them, we have to say them assertively. What you have said, I can feel uncomfortable. That need to be done. And when we are not do so, it will be, they will take us an advantage and they will do again and again. And this is another thing. And third one is, it doesn't mean that problem from other side. It may be from our side also.
Yes.
Sometimes when we may not aware about it, what we can do, we can introspect is a method we studied, and we are not able to find the problem. As I said, we have to have a mentor. Then we can ask them. There are experienced teacher will say that, sir, how I can handle that the politics in my relationship, and they will guide us. A lot of techniques will be there. And I can quote one of my guide, my supervisor, research supervisor, and he told me that, sir, I couldn't adjust with my new faculty members. What can I do? And he told me that how many hours you are handling in a day. I told only 2 hours. What about the remaining? I will be there in the staff room and you will chit chat, and that is the thing you have to do. And he told me that don't sit in that remaining hours, go to the library for a week and see there is a change will be there. Because when we are sitting and we are making a conversation, most of the time we are loose talk. There may be chances, and we may take it rightly, and they may feel that what they have done correct. And I found that this one is most effectively worked out for me. And most of the time, knowing when someone asks about our colleagues, never say about the negative things about other members. If you found anything negative, say to face. When someone is our other member, say only positive sides. Okay, I found these qualities are there, because that person not only interacting with us, that person definitely interact with that faculty also. When they come to know that Yes, this person said that they jealous will be that they are irritated, they will get more irritated, they will get more anger, and they will find a time for making down. They're not more prepared immediately. They find that sometime they will get an upper hand and they will do it. It is very important thing and we have to do that. I think these inputs are my personal, and in addition to that, you can find some good mentor. There are many retired professors and teachers will be there. You can consult with them and they will give a lot more tips for you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
No one is reacting. This is also a problem among teachers.
Yes, sir. Actually, the biggest problem among the teacher is we are very closed. Once after getting into the teaching field, we think that we are not open for learning. Actually, our
Yes, sir.
learning starts when you are getting into teaching only. Sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, once again, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, I think we are at the edge of concluding this.
Nisha, anybody else?
So thank you so much, sir. I think there are few students ready to give a feedback on the session. So I would like to call upon the students of KUCT for the feedback session. Kindly do present your feedback.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Hello, sir. I am Anjita, S of Physical Science. First of all, I want to say that it was very wonderful session, sir. It was very useful for me as I am normally a very stressed person. Sir, even though I muster up my courage in front of students, I feel very anxious. And I want to ask how to reduce anxiety and be self-confident in front of students, and how to maintain our self-confidence even when unexpected responses came from students.
Lovely question. I think this was a question I expected at the first time. I think you are rightly pointed out. I can say that my first teaching experience, I was there in front of the student in the podium. The podium is shaking like here and there. So it means I'm more anxious, even though we are having after PhD only, I'm getting into teaching. And anxiety is a natural sympathetic. I think you know that parasympathetic. It is a natural process in a person. Sympathetic, it will activate and we will get more anxious. Why we are getting more anxious? While the teachers are experiencing more anxious, it is because we expect that we have to deliver more perfectly to in the classroom. That perfection is one of the components. There are many other factors that create anxiety. How we can come out from that anxiety? Stage fright. And another wonderful experience I would like to quote here. I got a lovely opportunity to welcome that we have Central Minister of Youth Affairs and Sports. And I was prepared like Mudalvan Arjun, like I was preparing for, wherever I go, I prepare for welcome address. I used to call my mom and I will say that it's my great honor and privilege to welcome that honorable minister for youth. This is the thing I'm practicing. On the day came, I was there in front of the mall and I couldn't utter a single word. I was frozen. And what are the strategy I took? There is a very simple thing. There is a positive power postures. This is the one you can take it. This is called a V shape. You can take it. You can do it for 2 minutes. Okay, before going to perform, you can do these things. And there is one more power posture. You can hand like this. And you can Google it, power postures. The most effective I found personally. And you can do that. Or else have a cup of water. You take a chip and you can feel somewhat cold. And second one is take a deep breathing. And you can exhale and you feel comfortable. You can at least 3 deep breathing and it will minimize your anxiety. And the most effective and for long lasting, when you want to come out from anxiety unexpectedly, anyhow they will give a 2 minutes of time for getting into that field. So you can do 5 power postures. It may be anything. It may be on V shape or it may be you can hold it like this. You can have on the same. You can do any kind of pose. And these poses must be 2 minutes. Minimum 120 seconds you have to be there without anything. And you feel pride about it. Yes, I can do. And it worked out a lot for me. You can try this and you can let me know. I hope these tips will be very useful for you.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Welcome, Anjita.
Thank you, Anshita, for the question. Anybody else? Your doubts, your queries, and your feedbacks are very important to the session. So kindly do raise your feedback and queries.
Hello, sir. Sir, I'm Aparna from Physical Science Optional. And first of all, I would like to say thank you for this wonderful section because you are dealing with the common mental health problems dealing by teacher in the school as well as their personal life. Sir, I would like to know about is depression is considered to be as an autoimmune condition or not?
Yes, another medical component. So when we take any kind of mental health problem, there are two major classifications. It may be an organic or environmental component. Organic means our brain is the main culprit for almost all the mental health problems. Our brain, the neurotransmitters. And as you said, that autoimmune disease. What is autoimmune disease? For the people who are not aware about, I will let you know. When there is a cut in our body, so there is an antibody will produced by our immune system. It will fight against it. Sometimes it will feel that there's inside the problem, it will fight against our own cells. For example, I'm slapping my cheek like that, autoimmune system will work out. Our own immune function fight against our own cells. So that is an autoimmune system. And when it is happening, what will happen? A lot of stress will be there. Stress, the cortisol level increase, and these things are consistently there and definitely will be get into depression. Yes, this is a one way. And what is the proper way to take care of these things? As per my knowledge, my suggestion would be there are two approaches you have to take it. One is about biomedical model. You can get a proper physician and they will give a medication for that. And second one is we can go for cognitive behavior therapy, CBT. As per my knowledge, for to come out from the depression, and CBT is the most effective method than any other methods. Okay. I hope I given the answer for your question in this.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Sir, one more. Sir,
Yes.
if it is an autoimmune condition, most probably it is not easy to be cured, or it may be sometimes, is it okay to control our stress?
Yeah, definitely it is. I can let you know, autoimmune system, earlier we never had an approach or model for dealing with autoimmune problems. But now there are many approaches there to deal most effectively these autoimmune problems. Okay, so we can take those strategies, and as I said, I'm not a medical practitioner, but my family members are there, and I consulted with them how I come to know that my son had an epilepsy. So when we went there for screening of various doctors, and they had an hypothesis, an assumption about what may be the reason for the epilepsy. And one of the prediction is that autoimmune system. And they said that how we can overcome. Yes, we can able to make, there are, as per that input I received from that when I'm interacting with them, there are three models are there, effectively deal with autoimmune problem also.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Aparna, for that valid and more scientific question.
Thank you.
Thank
sir.
you, Aparna. Anybody else?
Hello, sir.
Yes, Archana.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
So my name is Archana Jaya from Social Science. First of all, thank you, sir, for such a very informative session. The topic you chose is very relevant, and it personally took my all attention, as this is the first time that I got such a seminar, a webinar from such a topic, which is I am searching in YouTube, Google, etc. for relieving to understand what I am up to. As you said, the teachers face more tensions as stress now, but in my situation nowadays, the student teachers face more stress than the teachers, as we are facing the classroom, students, a new environment for the very first time, and we are literally shaking with fear and don't know how we are gonna end up this course. And
and I personally love the like this session as it's it is a kind of guidance to become a teacher by maintaining our mental stress and the health of ourselves first. And as you said, sir, the teachers, the ego clashes, the competitions, workloads, etc., are the upcoming issues that we are gonna be face today or tomorrow. We are going to face, and this session is very useful for me, and I am so much thankful for you, sir. And I have no doubt you leave no room for doubt for me, sir, as all doubts are clear, wiped out. I'm so satisfied, and thanks once again. Thank you, sir, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
Thank you, Archana. Actually, the topic credit goes to my good friend Sunit Kumar sir only. I mean, he only told me that I suggested some other topic. No, we need to deal with student teacher. What will be the more appropriate? I said mental health we need to talk, and these topics suggested by your principal only. All credit goes to him only.
Thank you, Archana, for the valid question and your feedback. Anybody else?
Good evening, sir. I am Anue Ramesh from Hindi Office. First of all, I would like to thank you, sir. This was a very informative and interesting section about mental health of teacher. And thank you, sir, for the excellent and clear presentation. I found this section very really helpful and useful for us who are going to be teachers in future. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Anu.
I'm Rathi from India. Actually, it is a very each of us enjoy a lot of information and class. So much of what you're teaching and how you teach it. So much for your passion and all you go into any topic. Really enjoy it now. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the valuable information and thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Raki. I think there are no more queries or feedback. If so, kindly unmute yourself and please do suggest your feedbacks and queries.
Good evening, sir.
Yes.
I'm Abhana Vijayan from Natural Science Optional. First of all, I thank you, sir, for conducting the webinar on the topic mental health of teachers. And the session was very helpful for me. And we all are facing this situation. And sir, you made the session simply superb. And we understand many valuable things and adopt from this session. The session was for 1 hour, and no one be felt bored in between the sessions. I think so. And it gave me a lot of new knowledge from this session, and it's a very informative session for us. And sir, I once again thank you for all this valuable information.
Thank you, Aparna. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Aparna. Sir, myself, Anita, I would love to thank you from the bottom of my heart. And as my friend suggested here, sir, being teacher trainees, we're all stressed out and we're all introduced to a new world wherein we haven't dealt with students or children of this age, though we passed on through that age, because this is a state of new normal and children are very much active and precisely they are more equipped with knowledge and information. So my question is, as we all know, teachers these days, especially young teachers, we do face body shaming as well as such abusive comments from teachers. And one of my friends who was a teacher trainee, she had to face such a situation wherein the students, she got very negative responses from the students, but then she couldn't manage the class, or she couldn't seek the help of the teachers of the particular school or the parents, as in she was very much scared about how the response of the management and the parents would be. So in such a situation, sir, what are the measures or adequate measures we should be equipped with?
Again, I can say that it is a very, very common problem every teacher will face, including me. And the way we are delivering the content, the language, that also be used as a bully. They will teach us. The best way we can able to counter these things, as I said in my presentation, practice mindfulness. In that mindfulness, there are 4 important components: are being at the present, openness, and accept the reality. Non-reactive, as I said. The non-reactive is something. I can give the best example for that. In my personal experience also, I would like to share. We all know that Buddha, he used to preach his concepts to various villages. Once he was visiting and he was preaching his ideas to the villages, so one of the members from the village and who came and he humiliated Buddha in front of others. He spitting on his face, and one of his disciple and came that you want to beat, just block. Buddha said that don't do that, just leave him. And it was happened, and the disciple was unhappy with that. How the person can do these kind of things for my group. And when they went in the evening, and the disciple asked the Buddha, why you are not non-reactive? And Buddha said that I'm having a rupee, 10 rupees. He gave it to the person. The person who gave 10 rupees to you, if you receive that money, the money is yours. The money is yours. The person is giving 10 rupees. If you are not receiving the money, whose money that will be? He said, who trying to give, that person will have that money. Am I right? The same thing applicable for this. When someone is teasing, that will be there. There are some people are by nature, as I said, there are people having mental health problems. They try to tease other members, the bully. So what we can do, that non-reactive, whatever you said. Okay. So when we take it in our mind, when we take it our heart, and it will hurt a lot. We will think about those things and we may not perform better. When we are not keep it in our mind, and it will be, we feel more free. Even Sigmund Freud also said that when something is ungratified, something is disturbing, when we put it repressed, and that is the one root cause for the severe mental health problem. So what we can do that, I can give my personal experience and you can able to connect that in that situation. Once I visited one of the school where my son is doing the education, where the particular I'm waiting in the hall and to meet my son, and one of the teacher and look at me, and she was body shaming, and I was not up to the dress code is not up to the mark, and she was saying something about the comment to someone. I can able to hear it. If I react in that situation, there may be chances are there, and she may make a revenge against my son's education. What I have done, I close my eyes. What I have done, this is another technique I'm saying that. One is about mindfulness, second one is to close your eyes. Imagine that the person, how she want to make a comment. I'm thinking about she's breaking on my leg, and please forgive me, what is the mistake I have done. Just I put it as visualization technique for 30 seconds. And when I open my eyes, when I look at her, and what come to my mind? She's breaking on my leg. That is the thing it come when I was laughing. When I smiled on her face, and she was humiliated, and she stepped away from that place. So we can be more protective, and we can take some of the defensive mechanism. I can say one is mindfulness, another one is guided imagery, or we can say visualization technique that will help a lot when we are having this kind of teasing or bullying from other members. I hope I given that these are not only 2 techniques, there are a lot more out there, and you can take these 2 are most effective as per my personal experience.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Is there any other queries regarding the mental health of teachers, or any queries regarding how student teachers deal with their day-to-day life, or any feedbacks on the session? You could kindly come up with the feedback. So yes, I think, sir, we've got a very wonderful, active, interactive session. So now, so it shows how interesting the topic was. Thank you so much. And now I would love to invite Malavika from English department for the vote of thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Anita. Good evening.
So today I have been bestowed with the duty of saying vote of thanks to this wonderful webinar. So first, I would like to extend my gratitude to Dr. Sunit Kumarji and our principal, KUCT in Nirmangadu. He actively supported us for conducting this webinar and also participated in this webinar. So I would like to thank him from our students and also from the whole college. Thank you so much, sir. Next, I would like to thank our resource person, Dr. Suresh Kumar Murugesan, Assistant Professor, Department of Psychology, the American College, Madurai, Tamilnadu. Sir, thank you from the bottom of my heart for sparing your time to teach us to give us a lecture about a very relevant topic. I'm sure that your lecture will help us in our prospective teaching profession. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Next, I would like to extend my gratitude to Dr. Chanjal Abraham, Assistant Professor, Department of Social Science, KUCT, Nirmangadu. Thank you, teacher, for organizing this webinar and also for your active participation. Thank you, ma'am. Next, I would like to thank all the participants for your active participation and also for giving us so many feedbacks and questions among this session. Thank you so much for your participation. Once again, thank you and have a nice day.
Ma'am, can I take a minute of time for getting feedback?
Yes, sure, sir. Sure, sir.
Dear friends, you can see the chat box. I'm going to share a link where you can able to give a ranking or rating for my presentation. Just a minute, I'll share the link with you. Friends, you can find in your chat box, I shared a link where you can find my name. You can scroll down, there is an option will be there. If my session is on average, you can put 3 star. If it is good, you can put 4 star. If it is on very good, you can give 5 star. And you can enter the comments and submit it. And it is very useful for me. And in the beginning, when they were introducing me, they said that I'm teaching in some other online university. It is because of the feedback. And your feedbacks are very, very useful for me. Thank you so much for that opportunity, sir. Thank you again. Thank you, sir. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thanks, sir.
Now the official meeting of the webinar is done. Thank you all the participants. Thank you the resource person, to the principal, to the teachers and all the participants. Thank you once again. Chanjal ma'am?
Yes.
So the
Chanjal, അത് fill ചെയ്യാൻ ടൈം വേണോ കുറച്ച് അതോ മതിയോ?
മതിയെന്ന് തോന്നുന്നു സർ.
മതിയോ?
ലിങ്ക് ഓപ്പൺ ചെയ്താൽ മതി.
ഓ ഓക്കെ.